All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Good afternoon and welcome back to another week, another trading room brought to you by TD Markets and TD Markets Academy. I go by the name of Tsepo. Hope everyone is having a great time. Hope everyone is well this Tuesday afternoon. All right, we are just 5 minutes after 2 or 5 minutes. Yeah, really, basically after 2. And yeah, we're about to get started, right? Looking at the chat right now. I think the guys are ready. Remember, guys, before we get started, remember the information discussed in this session is not advice. It's just our point of view, our thoughts on how the markets are going to move. So if you're new to this session, please take this very, please be very careful, right? Whatever we do in this session, it's not advice. It's just our point of view, our opinion on how the markets are gonna move. All right, so Jules, Peter can see you, Rendania can see you. The usual suspects are here. And just like Ash like to say, right, let's wait for the slow pokes to join in. All right, just gonna give it a few seconds waiting for the slow pokes to join in. If you're in, maybe type it on the chat. Let me know that you are present. I'm marking the register now. I've got my pen, I'm marking the register. So let me know if you are present, if you're ready for the session. All right, so if you want to open an account with us, guys, remember our website is tdmarkets.com. For the benefit of those joining us for the first time, our website tdmarkets.com. Have a look at the account types that we have. We've got different account types. Obviously you will check the specs on the accounts. If you click on see more, that specific account will show you its specs. All right, you've got different leverage sizes, different contract sizes, and just be careful there, right? Many people are getting this one wrong. Contract size, very important, right? So you might find that your P&L doesn't look the same as the different account. It's simply because of the contract size. So we deal with this, we discuss these things in our education sessions. So just be careful when choosing an account. All right, I mean, we cater for all levels. If you're a beginner, we've got an account for you. If you are an experienced trader, obviously you've got different account also for you. All right, so that's tdmarkets.com. all right, we also have education. You can check our website, which is tdmarketsacademy.com, where we provide information on our education, right? Where you can catch us, what is the requirement. All you need is an account, right? All you need to join our academy sessions or our education sessions is an account. Make sure it's verified, get it funded, and then our account managers will assist you, right? But for more information, you can contact us on care@tdmarkets.com. All right. Also, do follow us on all social media platforms to see what's happening, where we are, where we're going. All right. And also, don't forget, I'm not sure if this is out yet, but this coming Saturday, we're gonna have our seminar, our Joburg seminar. Details should be on our social media. But if not, contact your account manager to find out about our upcoming seminar this coming Saturday. All right, I'll be there. My brother Ash is gonna be there, and the rest of the team, the TD Markets team, will be there. Right, your favorite account manager will be there as well. Yeah, so that's tdmarketsacademy.com. All right, so I think let's get it started, guys. Jason, welcome. Right, we are 21 people joining us or watching us live. 4 likes. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, so let's get the session started, right? Let's get the session started. Now, if you guys have been looking at your charts, if you guys have been following the analysis, you'll understand and you will know that we are sticking to the same script, all right? Whatever we spoke about 2 months, 3 months ago, we're sticking to that same script. The market has not changed. We just have some short-term movements, small, short-term movements along the way, but the overall direction, the overall structure we spoke about is still there, right? So we're sticking to the same old script. So the charts that you have prepared for this session, right? I'll be dealing with the same structure, the same direction, right? So yeah, there we go. On our chat right now, currencies and connections, right? That is the theme and the name of this upcoming Joburg seminar, currencies and connections, right? Do check us out on our social media pages, and also the link is there to sign up and to reserve your spot, right? We will be there talking about the company, talking about the markets, and yeah, just catch us there, right? Everything is on that link. Everything is on our social media pages. Buzwani, welcome. All right, definitely from 12 p.m. That's right, from 12 p.m. So I hope you guys are ready for the session. It's a jam-packed session. A lot has been happening in the markets from a fundamental point of view. A lot is moving. So we're going to have a look at the ones that are moving so that we prepare and position ourselves properly, all right? I mean, this week is going to be very interesting, very interesting. There's a lot of reports that are coming out, rumors, but we'll talk about them. We'll talk about them as we go on, right? But a lot is happening. Also in the crypto market, a lot is happening. A lot is happening, guys. We'll find time to deal with it and talk about it, right? But yeah, so let's get it started. The charts that you prepared, you can tap them on the chat. As per norm, as usual, before we get right into it, let me know what you're looking at, what you're trading, so we can discuss possible opportunities, all right? I know that most of you guys are looking at gold. Some of you guys are looking at German 30. So let's see, guys. Whatever you're looking at, type it on the chat. Let's talk about that. Let's see if we can find some trading opportunities for this week, if not for next week. All right, so just gonna give you guys a couple of minutes, all right, a minute or two. Let's go. All right, we've got Ethereum, we've got Pound Yen, we've got NZD USD. We're gonna have a look at those. In fact, let's get right into it. We've got Ethereum that is still trading within that structure. All right, so this is how we're looking at the moment on Ethereum. So overall, nothing has changed in terms of the bigger structure. It is bullish at the moment. Ethereum is trading within this descending structure that is within the longer term bullish structure. All right, so at the moment price broke out. Let me just do this here. We can see that we've got this broken structure on the left. Maybe let me just keep it a little bit clean. Yeah, this is how we're looking on Ethereum. Right, you'll notice that price initially not broke but bounced from this low, made an aggressive move towards the upside, and then came back down to try and break that low, this low here, right? It tried to break it one more time, but it's struggling around here, right? Struggling around here. So there are two possibilities, guys, on what could possibly happen with Ethereum, right? Longer term, we are bullish, we remain bullish, but there are two possibilities, right? The first possibility, looking at this current price action, is if price, you see right now, the market is on a support. This is our support here, right? Should the market reject and respect this support, then we're likely going to get a higher low and a continuation back to that high. Let me go to the much lower time frames. So at the moment, Ethereum is on the support within a bigger descending structure. So should price reject this support, which I think is going to happen, then we could then see price making its way back to that high. All right. The previous trading opportunity was actually around this area, right? You see how the market broke this inner channel, made its way towards the upside, came back down to the support. So a rejection, so it's just a matter of waiting for price to reject this area, give you enough confirmation, technical confirmation, all right? Then you sort it. Then we're likely going to get this push towards the upside. This is the first possibility, which I think there's a higher probability chance price will do this, the market will do this, right? If not, then we can look at the second possibility, which could take us back down here once again, right? I don't think this is likely. I don't think this is going to happen, but hey, it's always a possibility. If price goes down, back down one more time, then it's going to come back down to this low, right? But in terms of the structure, in terms of the longer term structure, shorter term structure, this is personally what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on any bullish reaction towards the upside, right? Focused on any bullish reaction towards the upside. So let's keep an eye. Let's see what's going to happen. We need price to break out of this, and then just we need to make sure momentum is also bullish, right? So at the moment, nothing much to do on this one, just waiting for price to give us those confirmations, right? But I'm focusing on this move towards the upside. All right, so that is Ethereum. This is the possibility, right? If price breaks this support, turn into resistance, then we're likely going to come back down to this low again, right? Which is not something we are focusing on. It's not something that we are anticipating price will do, right? But towards the upside, we are there, right? So let's see on Thursday what's going to happen, all right? But there's a really good opportunity towards the upside. Looking at Bitcoin as well, right? Bitcoin is trading okay, so overall, the current bigger structure remains bullish, right? This is what we're seeing overall. Whoa, let me just do this. So Bitcoin is still bullish, all right? And then at the moment, it's trading within this range. Now, we are focused on any buys here, right? We are focused on any buys. We're not interested in looking for sells, right? At the moment, we're not interested in looking for sells. We're interested in looking for buys, right? So should price, you see where the market is right now. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame. Should we get a higher low anywhere around this area, right? Should we get a higher low anywhere around this area, then we'll be interested in longing this. Would be interested in longing that. All right. So at the moment, I don't think there's much confirmations of this, but should we get a higher low? So we're just waiting for the higher low to form. Then we know that this is going to take us back to this high, back to that high, right? Yeah, this is the idea, the trade idea we have. So we're just keeping an eye around this zone. You see how it is? Yeah. So let's see Thursday how this will look like, right? Like I said, there's a lot happening on the crypto at the moment, right? So before we continue to the currencies, guys, right? There's a lot happening with the crypto. You guys know I've been keeping my eyes on the crypto. I've been following the cryptos, both technically and fundamentally, right? And according to my updates, my research is that there's a lot of manipulation, in my opinion. There's a lot of manipulation happening in the crypto. Why do I say that? Because you've got what we call whales, all right? Whales, W-H-A-L-E, whales, right? Crypto whales, OG whales, Bitcoin whales, and all of that, right? So now you've got these people that are at the moment manipulating price, right? They are opening large positions towards the downside, right? The long-term behavior of Bitcoin at the moment, of Ethereum, is still bullish. But then you've got these whales that are opening shorts with large capital, right? It could be that they're trying to manipulate. It could be that they are selling short-term to buy long-term. It could be that they are selling because they're looking for a better price to buy. And by better price, I'm talking about a price that is going to give them a good risk and reward ratio. Let me go back, all right? A price that's going to give them a good risk and reward ratio, meaning that bottom. So you've got these people that have opened large positions towards the downside, shorting Bitcoin, shorting Ethereum. And I think most of them are on Bitcoin, shorting Bitcoin only to buy later on. Now, could this be manipulation? Yes, maybe no, depending on how you interpret this information, right? It could be manipulation because, number one, they are looking for a better price to buy. Number two, they're trying to spike out retail traders. Remember, OG, when you talk about whales, OG whale, right, or whales, institutions, these are big boys. These are institutional trade big boys, right? That are trading large sum of money. I'm talking about millions of dollars of capital, right? So whatever you do, just be careful, right? Just be careful, because now you might see something like this, right? and trying to sell something like this. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, in hindsight, we can see that this trend here went as low as this. This is all good in hindsight, all right? But we should be careful with movements like this because these are pure manipulation, right? They are trying to get a better price to long the market long term, right? You guys must just continue doing your research on that, right? At the same time, you know what happens? This now affects the Bitcoin dominance now, which has gone a little bit lower. This affects the total market capitalization, which has also declined, right? And this also affects what we call the altcoin season index. This also impacts the fear and greed index. There's a lot of fear in the market according to the fear and greed index, the crypto fear and greed index. So I'm giving you guys gems, right? You see these things I'm mentioning, just go do research on these things, you will see, right? So crypto is a different ball game. When you do crypto analysis, it's a different ball game because there are these other things that you need to also look at, right? Of course, with enough time, you will be able to overall understand what's happening. But according to the fear and greed index, there's a lot of fear in the market at the moment, and it's as a result of the manipulation that's happening at the moment, right? You look at your market cap, which has gone a little bit lower. I think at the moment is below $3.7 trillion. But let me just check here quickly. All right. Let me just check here quick. In fact, let me do this. Aha. We're gonna open up this. What you see here, CoinMarketCap, one of the websites that can give you a lot of insight on the crypto, right? But I'm not gonna go over everything here. I want us to focus on a couple of things, right? You've got the market cap, you've got the fear and greed index, you've got the altcoin season index. All right. Obviously, there are other things that maybe you can play around, right? If you take a look at the market cap, right, it has gone down, but at least at the moment it's trying to pick up, right? This is the that market cap, shunt happening here, the overview and all of that. So it recently went down. I mean, we can see there was a big drop here, right? Here as well. And then last week it tried to pick up, but it's going down. All of this is just manipulation, pure manipulation, right? So the market cap has gone down, right? It's now on $3.67 trillion. All right. Now let's pause. We'll come back here. Let's go back. And then you've got your altcoin season index, this reading. You've got this reading, right, which is 24 over 100. This means that there's about 24 best performing altcoins against Bitcoin at the moment, right? So 24 of them out of the top 100 are the best performing altcoins against the dollar, against Bitcoin. All right. So now I'm not gonna get into detail with this, but when this number goes down, when this figure goes down, right, automatically the Bitcoin dominance is gonna rise. And when the Bitcoin dominance rises, this means for altcoins that it's not the altcoin season as yet, right? So this has to be at least above 50 for us to say altcoins are now starting to push, all right? At the moment is here. It could still go down, but what this reading means is that it favors the Bitcoin season, right? It favors the Bitcoin season. So these are just a few things, right? These are just a few things one can look at and trying to interpret. As you guys can see, this one is from CoinMarketCap. A lot of insight on the crypto. So this is not all, guys, right? There's just a few things just to give you guys an idea of some of the readings, right? So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. The Bitcoin dominance chart, let me do this. Let me just have only Bitcoin here, right? So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart, all right? It's above 50 at the moment. It's above 50, which is a good reading. So it ranges from 0 to 100, and anything above 50 and 75 is good. That means it's the Bitcoin season, all right? So yeah, so we'll continue looking at these, but just to give you guys just a basic overview, all right? There's a lot of manipulation in the market in terms of the crypto. These whales are trying to sell short-term with large capital just to manipulate and buy later on. So now how you interpret this information is entirely up to you. I mean, there's nothing wrong in trying to look for short positions, right? But remember, institutions, they continue buying. Whenever something like this happens, institutions continue buying. So you've got your market sailor, Michael Saylor, right, of Strategy, who continues to buy and hold Bitcoin in their reserve. You've got your Dogecoin reserve, you've got the Ethereum reserve. So these are just a few things, right? What is the commitment of traders say? I haven't looked at that. I don't know what that's saying. I don't know what the COT report is saying in terms of the crypto. I haven't looked at that as yet, but maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later on. All right. I haven't looked at that. All right. So yeah. So in terms of Bitcoin, just going back to the structure, it remains to be bullish, right? It remains bullish, and all we want to see now is if price can respect this low again, right? That's where it is right now, right? Market came back down one more time. So on the lower time frames, this is how it's looking. Should price respect this, then short term, we're likely gonna see Bitcoin pushing back to this high, pushing back to that high. Should it break that high, then we can look at that high. So maybe let me just draw these areas here. So you've got this high as our potential target, near-term target, and then you've got this one here as also potential short-term target, right? So provided that we are getting a higher low, then we're gonna see this pushing back there, right? So keeping a very close eye on this. So that's how Bitcoin is looking. That's how Ethereum is looking. But I can tell you towards the upside, there's massive potential towards the upside, right? So just keep an eye on that. All right. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, there we go. Keeping a close eye. Up next is going to be GBP JPY, which is going up according to the analysis I did with our clients last week. All right. So last week, one of our focus was GBP JPY. And I told our clients that, hey, look, this thing is creating a continuation pattern. It's most likely going to go up, right? It went down one more time here, but we still maintained that it's going to go up. So at the moment, it's going up, right? Let me go back and show you basically what's happening. So we could see GBP JPY pushing back to this high, right? We could easily see GBP JPY pushing back to this high because of the overall of this structure is trading within. This structure is trading within, right? So let me just draw this. So now we still, yeah, there we go. Perfect. So now we haven't changed our direction. We're still looking for price to continue pushing up, at least going back there. So this is the potential we could see on GBP JPY, right? We've got this structure here. So we're going back to that high. All right. So at the moment, there was a correction. Price broke out of the correction. It came back to tap this low one more time. We can see that we've got a higher low trying to form. We are breaking out of this pattern. And then whatever price does here, we are bullish up until that high or even that bigger high. Whatever price does, as long as price does not take out this higher low, right? You have your impulse, you've got your corrective pattern. So it's just pure structure, following pure structure. All right, so we are bullish on this one. We remain bullish. And yeah, this is where we could be going with this, either all the way there or all the way up there. Great opportunity. So you see, we are sticking to the same script. All right. So if ever we spoke about NASDAQ, German 30, sticking to the same script. I think at the moment, it's much simpler to trade the markets at the moment because of what's happening. It's much simpler to trade the markets at the moment. If you guys want to learn more about this, right? I mean, we do have those services for you. That is TD Markets Academy. If you want to learn what we're doing here, TD Markets Academy, we've got you sorted, right? So yeah, we've got you sorted. All right, so that's GBP JPY, right? Up next, we've got NZD USD. NZD USD is creating a complex structure, right? It's creating a complex structure. Let me break it down. So the trend we're seeing here at the moment is bearish, right? The market continues to create lower lows and lower highs, all right? But now at the moment, the market is trading within a correction that's creating what we call a complex structure or complex corrective pattern, right? Complex corrective pattern. And it's this here. Why is it complex? Why is it complex? Because, okay, so let me break it down. So we've got this formation here. You see that? It's complex because it is not your usual correction or flat pattern. It's not like this, where it's just your usual flat pattern, right? This one, it's a complex structure, right? So there's a possibility that it could go up one more time to complete the formation and then do this, right? That possibility is there. So this is where the complexity of this is coming from, right? There's a possibility we could get one more push up to create that last structure and then go down, or there's a possibility this can just continue pushing down here. So that's where now that complexity I'm talking about, that's where it's coming from, right? So now how would I approach this? Number one, I'm bearish, right? So now if I'm looking for shorts, I'm keeping an eye here, right? Anywhere around this area. There's the area where I know should price go back one more time, I'm going to be getting shorts here. Shorts, right? We're talking about sells. Not shorts, but sells. Short position. We're talking about short positions. Yeah. So there we go. Should price go up there, then this is how I would approach it. All right. But now if price drops here, it's going to give us a different scenario altogether, right? So this is how I would approach this. Looking for sells anywhere above this high if price goes, or if the market goes down, then it needs to break this area. But it's important that you're aware of what's happening. Overall, the structure is bearish, the trend is bearish, and here we are trading within a correction before we get a continuation lower. You see how it is? Before we get a continuation lower. So just be patient with this one, right? Just be patient with this one. We just need this high. Should we get this high, then we are most likely going to go back down. Most likely, right? Because the dollar remains, the dollar is strong at the moment, right? The DXY is going up. The DXY is going up. This is the DXY chart. Have a look at this, guys. The DXY is going up. We've been talking about this move in the past couple of sessions. So we could easily see the DXY reaching this price, right? 100. You see that? This is the DXY. So if the DXY continues to go up like this, then your NZD USD is gonna drop, right? So have a look at the DXY and then gauge the dollar looking at the DXY for you to find good positions on the dollar pairs. So NZD USD, one more push down. I would want it to come back here. I would want it to go up and go there, because the opportunity from anywhere around this area, the opportunity towards the downside is gonna be proper, right? The potential to the downside is gonna be proper. So I would love for NZD USD to go up first before we get this push down. But let's see. We'll see what's gonna happen. All right. So NZD USD, there you go, guys. If you just joined us, we are going through some opportunities on the charts. If you have anything in mind, if you have a currency pair in mind, if there's something that you're keeping an eye on, pop it on the chat. Let's have a discussion around it, right? Let's see what could happen this week, next month. The next one we have here is USD ZAR, I believe. So Bitcoin, we are done. USD ZAR, yeah. So let's see what USD ZAR has done, right? We spoke about it going down. It has gone down. Let's see. It has gone down, but it has not fully gone back down to this area, right? It almost reached it. Right? It hasn't fully gone down. So this thing, guys, is still bearish. USD ZAR is still bearish, right? What's happening short term at the moment is this. Now let me show you, right? This is an example of structure. So this was happening at the moment. So you see this formation here. It's a pattern. This is a pattern. Now this pattern is a continuation pattern of what? Of this leg. So the market went up. So now it's a continuation of this leg. So now what this tells us short term about USD ZAR is that we could easily see USD ZAR going back to this high. Right? Which is around 1750, I believe. I think it's around 1750. This is going to be the short term. Yeah, 1750. This is going to be the short term move. Because of this pattern, we could easily see USD ZAR pushing back to that area, 1750, right? So before the trend resumes, one more push up, only up to that high, and then you are done with this. That's it, just like that. Because this is a pattern, right? It's a pattern. Maybe some of you guys might not be familiar with it, but it's a pattern. As long as this is your impulse up, and then this pattern forms, the next move that's coming is the very same impulse to the upside. You see that? So yeah, so USD ZAR, according to the current price action on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, it's pushing up right now. Momentum remains short-term bullish, longer-term bearish. Momentum short-term bullish, longer-term bearish. So yeah, as long as you've got this higher low, we're good to go. We're pushing all the way up. So you will just find your setups. You will just have to look for your setups. Let me see what's happening here. Whew. Hey, there was a trading opportunity here. There was a trading opportunity. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, as long as we have cleared out of this. As long as we've cleared out of this, then probabilities are higher that price is going to continue pushing towards the upside. Yeah, so short term, USD ZAR, one more push up. All right, let me look at the chat. So good afternoon. AUD Swiss. Do I have it open? Yeah, I believe I do. Yeah. So AUD Swiss, it's coming back down to this low, right? Because of the cycle. So at the moment, I see this thing giving us a correction. You see how it aggressively went down. Let me just do this here. So AUD Swiss, right? There's a cycle forming, and I see this later on coming back down to this low. So we are dealing with this price action now. You've got the impulse, right? The market went down in an impulse. It broke the structure. All right. So we are likely going to see AUD Swiss pulling back, retracing before it resumes that momentum towards the downside, right? We're likely going to see this retracement, maybe come back to tap this structure, one more time, or even this one, right? Maybe to tap one of these structures. So meaning this and then this, or it goes further up and then this, because these are the most recent structures that are broken, right? You see that? So we've got a lower low here. We've got an ABC. We need another lower high before we continue down. So short term, this is most likely going to go back up. Short term, right? Just as a retracement. So It's up to you whether you want to trade the retracement or you want to wait for the trend to resume. It's entirely up to you. All right. I mean, if we're anticipating price to retrace back to this area, then there is opportunities there, right? It will depend on whether you want to trade this move or you want to wait for the entire trend to resume trading lower. But yeah, this thing is most likely going to continue pushing up. So on the lower time frames, you've got this consolidation, which looks like a break above this consolidation. It's going to continue trading within the correction, and then one more push there before we eventually do this. You see that? So that's AUD Swiss. That's AUD Swiss. We could be coming back to the structure or the structure. Either this one or that one. All right. Let me do this. Yeah, no, it doesn't change anything, right? This consolidation, a break out of this consolidation, then we're likely going to see price flying back there. In fact, this looks like a good setup. It really looks like a good setup. Yeah, no, it looks like a good setup. Let me just do this. It really looks like a good setup. Cool. Yeah, so I will definitely look for an entry on this one. I'm loving the daily candle. This is the daily candle. I'm loving the daily candle. I think we've got this. Right? There was a week down here, a week up there. We want this daily candle to close like this. We want this daily candle to close like this, right? And obviously for the next candle to break above this structure. To break above the structure. So the daily candle must close like this. And for the next candle to break above the structure, then we know the market is broken above. It is now trading within this range. Within this range now. Right. So we just need a clear break above that. So I think it's a good setup. I think it's really a good setup. It's really a good setup. Yeah, I think it's really a good setup. There you go. Yeah, so let's see on Thursday. Let's come back on Thursday and see what happened. GBP USD, sticking to the same script. The dollar is strong. GBP USD is doing this, sticking to the same script. We spoke about this the last time as well, that GBP USD is coming back to this low. It's coming back to this low. All right. I mean, we've been talking about this pair for a long time. So GBP USD is definitely coming back to this low. We've got a bigger cycle on this one, a bigger ABC formation on this one. So this move down. So we've got this A wave going down. We've got the B wave going up. So at the moment, GBP USD is trading within the C wave, right? So this move is not done. It's not done. That's your ABC. It's not done. Right. So yeah, so GBP USD, nothing has changed. It is still bearish. And yeah, we are in line with the trend. Most definitely. Most definitely. All right. So same old script, guys. Right. That's why I'm saying that you see this year, right? Or at least at the moment, it's much simpler, right? Not easy, but simpler to trade the markets. Much simpler because the concepts that we see price create are simple to understand, right? So it's much simpler in that regard. And then all you've got to do is to develop your mindset, trading psychology, trading mindset. And that goes with you trading, right? Trading, to develop a good trading mindset, right? And then your emotions are in check. So structure, no. What's happening right now, it's proper. So GBP USD, we're going down one more time. We've got Euro AUD. Let's see. Euro AUD went up the last time, continued pushing up. So this one, we remain bullish on this one, right? We remain bullish on this one, right? So at the moment, you've got a retracement, right? You see how overall we are trading within this. We've got a retracement at the moment, and and we're just waiting for the retracement to come back to this zone, right? Once we get rejection around the zone, we are looking for a continuation higher. Looking for a continuation higher. So Euro AUD at the moment is trading within the correction. We're just waiting for a higher low here. We're just waiting for the higher low. Once we get that higher low around 61.8 of the Fibonacci, then we are preparing for this move, this push up. That push up. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. So Euro AUD, just like that. And then up next, we've got NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ has gone back to that high. So it has completed its setup. This setup here. This is the setup here, right? There's so many lines here. Let me just make this a little bit easier. There we go. All right. So nothing has changed, guys, right? Nothing has changed. Everything's still the same. We remain bullish on these assets, and NASDAQ, the stocks are just performing well at the moment. NASDAQ and index, it's pushing up, right? So NASDAQ remains bullish. It remains bullish. It remains bullish. So at the moment, it just needs to break out of this. It just needs to break out of this now, which looks likely. Right? Should it break out of that, then we continue with this towards the upside. We continue pushing towards the upside. You see that? You can break this up, right? You can take the NASDAQ index, break it up to those stocks, those companies like your Netflix and Nvidia, see how they're performing, and then you will get an idea of how NASDAQ is going to perform. Remember, NASDAQ is an index of top 100 performing tech companies in the US, NASDAQ, right? So those companies, right, you can also trade them individually, like Nvidia, Microsoft. You've got obviously the ones that have more weight, which is Nvidia, your Microsoft, and all of them. You can look at them, individually, and then you will get a sense of how NASDAQ is going to perform, right? So maybe just a bit of a trick there. German 30, I had it open at the beginning of the session. Let's see, right? There we go. German 30, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, right? So let's see what's happening here. Obviously, price went up as per the previous analysis. It went up. It gave us a new high, coming back down. Let me see. Yeah, no, this is going to continue pushing up. It's going to continue pushing up because the formation is clear. The pattern is clear. The pattern is clear, right? Let me show you. The pattern is clear. This has broken towards the upside. Where is this going? It's going back to this high. Right, the pattern is clear. So the overall trend is bullish. And this pattern is just adding to the trend, right? It's just telling you and I that there's a higher probability that it's going to resume trading towards the upside. There's a higher probability that's going to continue trading towards the upside. It's all about gauging the probabilities, right? You gauge the probabilities. You use simple price action. You don't need anything complicated. Basic price action. And then you gauge the probabilities. and then you manage your risk. Let me repeat that. You learn probabilities. You don't have to use fancy English, fancy trading terms. You don't have to do that. You just gauge the probabilities, go with the overall trend, and manage your risk. That's all you need. That's all you need. Right? So this one more push towards the upside. Let me see. This is going to be a good setup, actually, because I'm looking at this. So I'm on the daily time frame right now, right? On the daily time frame, I'm looking at the rejection. I'm looking at these weeks. Look at these weeks, right? So if we get another week on the daily time frame, if we get this candle closing with this week down, then all of this is a continuation, right? Momentum and the pressure is towards the upside at the moment, right? Because of what? Because of these higher lows. So this current daily candle, if this candle closes like this, then the probabilities are high that price is going to resume trading towards the upside, right? Not only because of this candle, but because of this whole formation here, right? Look at where price went down to. It went back down to test this area, right? And then we see this formation. Some of you guys might say it's a head and shoulder and all of that, which is okay, right? But yeah, so we just need a break. We just need this candle to close like this, and then we know that our focus is towards the upside, right? Candlestick language. So on the lower time frames, you're going to see something like this on the lower time frame. So many people might say it's a head and shoulder. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. So yeah, so that is how German 30 is looking. Proper setup. So let's see what's going to happen there. Let's see what's going to happen here. But it's a proper setup. Right. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen there. So German 30, there we go. So ladies and gentlemen, right, like I said, we stick into the same script. Right, same script. As you guys can see, the market is respecting the analysis that you've done. The structure has not changed. What is changing is just the short-term movements, which can be as a result of corrections, right? But overall, structure still the same, right? So keep an eye on these setups. Right, obviously every week we are here to check and to update, but keep a very close eye on these setups. All right. So according to the chat, I think we have covered all the pairs, right, that you guys typed in the chat. Cool. So guys, it's been a good one. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's come back again this Thursday at 2 p.m. Let us look at some more opportunities here. But yeah, with what we've gone over, I'm happy, right? Come back on Thursday and we'll discuss more of these. Right. Guys, have a good one. That's it from myself. Have a good one. Enjoy. Cheers. And yeah, good luck.